This is a level 1 functional skills maths paper from NCFE. It's split into two parts. In the first part you can't use a calculator, but in the second part you can. Activity 1, driving test. Sam wants to get a driving license. He reads that in the UK about 750,000 new drivers get a license each year. Write 750,000 as a number. To help us with this, I'm going to write 1 million first. 500,000 will be 500,000. So no digit here. You move one step to the right, and that's where you start with the first digit. 250,000 is going to be 250,000. So 3/4 is going to be 750,000. And I will take this off so that it doesn't look as a negative. And we've got to write the final answer. Sam must pass the theory test before he can take the driving test. To pass, he needs 43 out of 50 marks on the first part of the theory test. Calculate 43 out of 50 as a percentage. So that is 43 over 50. Now percentage we write out of 100. So that means multiplying 50 by 2. And as we know, to keep the fraction the same, we must multiply the 43 by 2 as well. And that gives us 86. So 86 out of 100, that means 86%. At 10 miles per hour, the calculation for stopping distance in feet is 10 plus 0.05 times 10 squared. To work this out, Sam does 10 add 0.05, which gives us 10.05. 10.05 times 10 squared is equal to 10.05 times 100, which then gives us 1005. Explain where Sam has gone wrong. Calculate the correct stopping distance at 10 miles per hour. So where has Sam gone wrong? As you've noticed, they've done addition first, and they should have done multiplication first. BIDMUS tells us that. So Sam has done addition before multiplication. Now we've got to calculate the correct stopping distance at 10 miles per hour, second part. So we will do 10 add 0.05 times 10 squared. As we said, we're going to do multiplication first. So 10 add 0.05 times 100. We know that when we multiply by 100, the decimal point moves 2 places to the right. So there's 1, 2. So then we would have 5. So we are now adding 10 and 5, which gives us 15. 15 feet. This is a formula for calculating braking distance. Braking distance in feet is worked out by multiplying 0.05 by the speed limit in miles per hour squared. At 25 miles per hour, the braking distance is 31.25 feet. A driver accelerates from 25 miles per hour to 60 miles per hour. What's the increase in braking distance? So for 25 miles per hour, we've got the braking distance worked out for us. We are gonna work this out now for 60 miles per hour. So we'll go 0.05 times the speed, which is 60 squared. So we'll need to do the 60 squared first. So 60 times 60. So multiplying by 0 is going to give us 0. Then putting 1 0 down. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 6 is 36. So 3,600. So now we need to work out 0.05 times 3,600. Multiplying the number by 0.05 is the same as dividing them by 20. So you could do that instead. But what I'm going to do is just 3,600 times 0.05. So starting with the 5, 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 6 is 30, so 0 down and 3 carried over, 5 times 3 is 15, and the 3 is 18. Now the rest of these are zeros, so they'll just get zeros underneath. You don't even need to add them. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work out how many decimal places there are overall. So in the first number we haven't got any decimal places because there is no decimal point. In the second one we've got 2 decimal places, so we're going to give the final answer 2 decimal places. So going backwards, 1, 2. So 180 would be the answer. And what we asked is to work out the increase. So 180 take away 31.25. We need to take away 5 from the 0, but we can't do that, so we're going to need to borrow. Looking at this, it's a 0, so we can't borrow anything. Same thing here, so we're going to borrow 1 from the 8, so that it becomes the 7, this becomes the 10. Now that means we can borrow 1 from this and give it to this, and repeat the process again, borrow it from that and give it to the units. So 10 take away 5 gives us 5, 9 take away 2 gives us 7, 9 take away 1 gives us 8, 7 take away 3 gives us 4, 1 take away 0 gives us 1. So the difference is 148.75 feet. Sam is 17 years old. He decides to book 30 hours of lessons with the Accelerate School of Motoring. Calculate 15% of £710, which is option 2, where we've got a 15% discount for under 20s. So as we can't use a calculator, we're going to use the 10% method. So we're going to get 10% first, and then 5%, and then add them together. So 10% of 710, we work it out by going 710 divided by 10, which in this case means knocking off the 0, so the number becomes 71. 5% of 710 is half of it, so 71 divided by 2. So 71 divided by 2, how many 2's fit into 7? That is 3 of them, 1 remaining. How many 2's into 11? That is 5. And we've got 1 remaining, but we've run out of digits, so we're going to put a decimal point first. So we can add a 0 now. How many 2's into 10? That would be exactly 5. So 35.5. And we're going to add them together. 5, 6, 10. So £106.50. The driving test costs £62. How much money will Sam save by booking option 2 instead of option 1? So let's have a look at both of the options. In terms of option 1, says single lessons, 1 hour lessons for £21.65 each. Driving test not included. So that is 30 hours at £21.65 each. So we're going to multiply. When multiplying by 0, it just gives us zeros. So putting now 1 0 down and looking at 3. So 3 times 5 is 15. 5 down and 1 carried over. 3 times 6 is 18 and the 1 is 19. 3 times 1 is 3 and the 1 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. So 5, 9, 4, 6. Looking at the numbers, we've got this top one has 2 decimal places. 30 doesn't have any decimal places because it has no decimal point. So overall, this number is going to have 2 decimal places. So going backwards, 1, 2. So the answer is £649.50. That's the cost of the lessons. Well, we need to add the driving test cost as well. So adding £62. So £711.50. So this is the total cost for option 1. Let's have a look at the total cost for option 2. It says 30 hours of lessons for £710, including driving test and the 15% discount. We worked out the 15% in the previous question, so we're going to take away £106.50 from the £710. So 0 take away 0 gives us 0. Now we've got to take away 5 from the 0, which means we need to borrow. We can't borrow from the 0 here, so we're going to borrow 1 from the 1 here, and this will become 0, this becomes 10. So that means we're going to borrow 1 from it now, and this becomes 10. So 10 take away 5 gives us 5. 9 take away 6 gives us 3. 0 take away 0 is 0. 7 take away 1 gives us 6. So £603.50 is the total cost for option 2. What is the difference? Because that's what we need. How much money will Sam save? So we're going to do now £711.50. Take away £603.50. So that's 0. Now we need to borrow 1 from this. So 11 take away 3 gives us 8. 0 take away 0 is 0. 7 take away 6 is 1. So £108. And that's the final answer. So £108. And this is the end of this part.